Become someone who has proof. Confidence is not a trait, confidence is evidence. It's time to shift away from feeling confident to becoming undeniable to yourself. Hi there and welcome. My name is Kanchefu and here we talk about personal development. In particular, we talk about life after therapy. If you're new here, make sure you press subscribe. But if not, welcome back. So, let us begin. Confidence as we know it is not built in public and definitely doesn't come from validation. And I say those strong, profound statements to highlight that belief around where confidence is built, what confidence is, and how that relates to your confidence. If confidence was external, everybody would have it. It would be something that can be easily picked up as if you're purchasing it from a store, carried around, and kept in your locker, your wardrobe, or your drawers until needed. But that sort of confidence dies very quickly. So why do people chase external validation? Whether that's from friends, family, work, or any sort of achievement, and then rely on confidence being performed much rather than built. And it's because social feedback creates that temporary belief. So let's flip that on its head. That lack of private discipline can create that internal doubt, and that public image becomes disconnected from reality. So this really shows the low self-trust behind closed doors. So that then makes me think confidence without proof is fragile. And then that self-trust comes from what you do when people are not looking. So if confidence really is accumulated private proof, things that you have worked on, things that you have developed when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to, that proof is going to build your self-trust. And then that repetition is going to create that internal certainty. And that's one powerful place to come from. But how can you work or develop this private proof? Step one is defining your private standard. What's that behavior you're going to exhibit without any visibility? The things you say, you do, you act, the way you think when no one's around. Because this then removes that external accountability and aligns you with becoming more self-controlled. Step two would then be to execute that daily. That means completing the action consistently with no reliance on mood or motivation. In other words, maintaining those standards privately. This step really shows and highlights what your body, mind, spirit, and emotions find easier to do and that comfortable way of being in relation to that growth you want to see from yourself. But after that, step three is recording that proof, tracking that completion daily, which builds that visible evidence for yourself, which then reinforces your identity through the receipts. And then step four is simply repeating this positive cycle. Repeat the same behavior consistently, stack that proof over time, which will as a byproduct strengthen that internal belief. So do you see how no proof can equate to no confidence? And how those private wins create that public certainty? It's because there's a correlation between how you conduct living with yourself before speaking to others, before taking action. That relationship you have with yourself, if that has a standard, if that has a way of being that is conjunction with showcasing I do what I say, I not only look after myself mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, but much rather live in a way that shows I'm able to work on myself daily in one area, then you have the ability to prove to yourself your confidence. That through doing these actions, I know who I am. I know what I can accomplish. So externally, the things in your life have their part in your life, but no longer dictate nor eradicate who you are at your core. And that's how I'm going to leave it today. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure you like and press subscribe. And also share this with a friend or family member you know will like this discussion. If you like one-to-one support working on your confidence, make sure to comment the word rebuild or click the link in the description to fill out the form, the Rebuild Scorecard, in where it will help you identify which area of life you're in right now and what those next steps could be in moving forward. My name is Kanchefu once more. Have a good day, morning, night, or evening. But before we go, I've got one more question. What private habit would change your life? My name is Kanchefu once more, and I'll see you next Monday for our next discussion.